What would you do if you were CEO of Meta?
I mean, one thing I think really sucks is like on YouTube, you can do different audio tracks. So 70% of my audience on YouTube, they don't speak English. So I upload videos and then you just upload a bunch of different files. And so if you click on my video in Mexico, it autoplays in Spanish. And we get like 20 million views of video in Spanish. We get 10 million views of video in Portuguese, et cetera, all around the world. And what's brutal is when I post those same videos on Facebook or any of your platforms, I can't import the dubs over. So my viewership is always just infinitely lower because, people from Mexico and people from Brazil and things like that, they can't watch it with dubs. So, I mean, I know the teams are working on that kind of stuff, but if I was CEO, that's one of the first things I would fast track because it's such obviously everything you do, revolves around the creators and people who use the platform and you want to help them get more views and more engagement and stuff like that. And it's like pretty crippling. Like once it clicks in your head and you're like, whoa, only like 15, 20% of the world, or whatever the number is, consumes content in English. And if you're not dubbing, you literally can't reach, majority of the world. It's like brutal. It feels almost barbaric to use a platform where you have to like pick a language. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's definitely a good one. And I think that this is a good example of where AI is going to be very helpful too for auto dubbing into basically every language. But yeah, no, I mean, I think that historically, I do think that there have been a number of tools like this that we've needed to add. And our team is, especially on the Facebook side now, is really prioritizing building out all the tools that creators need to make Facebook their primary home.
Yeah, the auto dubbing I think will be it. We actually, in one of our 16 languages, we swapped out the voice actors and started doing AI dubbing, and the retention's actually 1% higher in that language because when you do AI dubs, you can use my voice instead of it sounding like a voice actor. It's me speaking. So even though it's like marginally worse, because it sounds like me, people are watching a little longer, and it's getting so much better every month that I wouldn't be surprised if ideally in a year I just post a video on Facebook, check a box, and then it like you said, just AI dubs it in 20 languages. That'd be ideal. I mean, I'm just gonna go down the list of things I complain about a lot. I mean, I think in general, something I think every platform, it's like another thing that feels archaic is when I'm on Amazon, I just one tap buy. I just tap and it just shows up on my doorstep. But when I see ads on other platforms so many times, like even on YouTube, like if I hold up a product in a YouTube video, like go buy this pin, it's like you would think you could just tap on the pin and then just go same address as normal and you just hit yes. And, and same thing on Facebook. I always, especially because you guys have our card saved and things like that. So I always wondered why it's not more frictionless just to buy stuff, because all the time I see things, I'm like, oh, I'd buy that, but I'm kind of lazy on content. I know Instagram Shop and things like that, it's a lot less frictionless, but I make videos. So particularly on videos, I'm like dying for some platform just to figure out where if I just say, hey, buy this, it should just be super frictionless without even leaving the video so it doesn't kill retention. Just tap and then just a notification in my head it should pop up and just go, same address. You just hit yes. And then that's it. And then the video just keeps playing. You know what I mean? Conversions would be so much higher and people would enjoy it so much more. So that's another thing. I don't know. I don't even know if that's realistic, but.
I mean, I think we're always trying to make it easier to do that stuff.
You're good.
I think most people probably want to consider purchases slightly more than just doing it right in line. But
Jimmy would prefer if it was just right away.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like brutal too. And again, I don't even know if this is what people want. Just from my perspective, I hate when people have to like leave the video.
No, it makes sense. I do think that better kind of understanding within content of segmentation of what the different things are so you can engage with the different things. I mean, this is all stuff that's kind of coming. It's not long-term research. It's just stuff that needs to get built into products. How is your short-form video monetization on Facebook?
It's actually pretty good. Weirdly, it's like over 2 times higher than every other platform. So I don't know what you guys are doing, but
that's the arbitrage I was talking about. I actually think that there's a thing here that's not that abnormal of a result. Monetization on Facebook is quite good. I mean, our ad system is quite good at basically being able to recommend content to people and be able to, and like you said, I mean, a lot of people are buying things on the platforms, so we can make it frictionless. You have the credit cards on file. Historically, I think, in some ways, the monetization tools have been more mature than even a lot of the creator tools on the Facebook side, at least, because we focused early on friends. But as the creator tools kind of get better and better, or if you're an experienced creator who just knows how to do this stuff, then like there just is this big arbitrage opportunity of being able to come reach the billions of people who are on Facebook and monetize generally better than almost all other social platforms out there.
Yes, and hopefully within a year have dubs and you can reach even more people.
I think that's I think your request of getting that within a year is very reasonable.
Like I just want to harp on this because I'm telling you, it will change everything.
I agree.
All my most viewed reels on your platforms, my most viewed just short form on your platform are ones where I don't speak. Like when I try to go viral on Instagram or Facebook with short form content, I literally like here I don't know if you saw this one, but and also if I'm going too hard, you just cut it out. This is my most viewed video. It's just me running with progressively more and more money. And there's a reason why I don't say any words. So like I'm running with 40 grand and then 50 and I just go until I literally can't move anymore. It's pretty funny. And I would love to be able to talk in this, but the problem is if I say a word, boom, like the viewership's going to get cut by more than half because, you know, then it's like only going to recommend it to people who speak English.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting. I mean, because it's you know, obviously most of the people on our services don't speak English, right? I mean, it's if you have 3 billion people, there's, you know, it's like maybe 500 million people or so, you know, it's you know, maybe a bit more than that.
And then of the people who do speak English, how many is it their first language where they actually want to consume content?
Yeah,
in it?
totally.
So it just
totally. But I mean, but it sounds like from what you're saying, I think the opportunity for the AI dubbing may be even bigger than what I thought, because I kind of viewed it as just, okay, create content in whatever language you want to start, and then you'll get it in all the other languages. But I hadn't even considered what you just said, which is that it's not just about kind of taking the content that exists and spreading it to other languages. People aren't even creating content in some cases because language is going to be a barrier.
Right,
So yeah, and I think that you're absolutely right on that. So it's not just taking the current inventory and making it like much more kind of efficient in terms of how it's shown to the right people, but there's going to be all these things that don't even exist today that should. So yeah, no, I think within a year we'll have that.
It'll be exciting. Yeah, because we had a big resurgence on our content globally, even if we add it to older videos, just because, you know, a lot of American content here is very high budget and stuff like that. And people in lower RPMs in other parts of the world, they don't have that kind of stuff. So when you finally get the dubs, people in other parts of the world are like, what the fuck? Someone spent $1 million on a video? They're used to seeing videos where creators spend $500 because people make way less, obviously, in other parts of the world. And so it's like a whole resurgence. But anyways, I won't harp on it. I got my 2 cents out there. I've probably hounded 30 people on your team about this. I call them all the time, and I'm like, hey, let's get some dubs going. So
I love it.
They'll find it.
We're on this. We're on this.
Yeah.